I can't believe it, but we're already in December, and 2025 is now just around the corner. So I have one big question for you. Are you ready to leave behind everything that's no longer serving you and step boldly into a new version of yourself in 2025? Today, I'm going to share a simple, powerful blueprint to help you truly reinvent yourself, not just setting goals for the new year, but transforming your life in a way that feels real, exciting, and is totally within your reach. Hi, I'm Jeff, and I teach practical and spiritual methods to organize and empower your life. So now grab a notebook or just find something to write with, because this is your chance to take action and start planning out a new blueprint for the best version of yourself for 2025. So before we dive into this blueprint of how you can transform your life in 2025, let's take a moment and think about the why. Why is it that every December, everyone starts counting down the days to the new year? People start writing down their New Year's resolutions. They're going to get in the gym again. They're going to eat healthy again. I had read somewhere, and I think this is true, that gym memberships just skyrocket in January, that it's by far the busiest month. And then over time, that those people stop coming in with the same frequency. But why is it that we have these ideas about reinventing ourselves? Why is that so important? Well, the thing is, when we resist change, we end up living the same year over and over and over again. And how many of you can relate to that? How many of you have found that 2024 in many ways was a repeat of 2023, 2022? Now, granted, we've had some crazy years the past 4 or 5 years, but I think there's a lot of truth in that, because if we have the same habits and thoughts and routines, these tend to keep us in the same place. But the truth is, we don't have to be stuck like that. A lot of times it's just a matter of holding on to old ways of thinking or living that no longer really align with the person that we're trying to become. So just as a quick thought experiment, let's just try this for a moment. If you don't change anything at all about your life for the next year, everything remains the same, what will your life look like at the end of 2025? Are you happy with each and every aspect of it? If so, that's amazing. You can probably move on to the next video. But most of us have at least a few things that we want to tweak. I would imagine really everybody has something that they're not happy with. And now imagine if you were to make a change in those areas. Now, what doors would open for you? How would your life shift and change in positive ways? Because reinventing ourselves in this way isn't just about self-improvement, it's also about self-discovery and being ready for that next step forward. So now, before we dive into this process of complete transformation, let's take a moment for some reflection. You need to understand who you've been in 2024 to decide who you want to become for 2025. So take a moment and just ask yourself these questions, or just answer in your head as I go through these. What habits or patterns have held you back in 2024? What are you proud of accomplishing during this past year? What is your proudest moment? What do you look back on with just amazing memories and think, wow, I was so happy that happened. I'm so proud that I was able to accomplish that thing. Or maybe, what have you been afraid to let go of, even though you know it's time? Is there something you're holding on to? Your intuition is telling you, hey, it's time to move on. It's time to leave this. It's time to part ways. But is there something you're still holding on to there? A really good exercise you can do is just write down your answers to these and do some self-reflection before we get into January. And be honest and compassionate with yourself. Because this whole process of reflection, it's not about judging you, but it's about having clarity. Because once we understand where we are and where we've been, we then have a much better idea and a clearer vision for going forward with that new version of ourselves. So now we can talk about the fun stuff. Let's think about an amazing 2025. Envision this new you in 2025. And let's dream big. So picture this new version of yourself. And the same process we went through for 2024, let's now apply it for the future. So what does your ideal day look like in 2025? From morning to night, where do you wake up? Are you in a house, an apartment? Do you live with family? Where do you wake up? What is your morning routine? What do you have for breakfast? Do you go to the gym? How do you spend your time? When do you start working? Do you go into an office? Do you work from home? Every aspect of that ideal day, just write it down and start to envision that. What does that look like? So now, how do you feel as you play out that scenario in your mind? How does that future version of yourself show up? Do you feel confident? Do you feel at peace? Are you excited and energized for the day ahead? Visualize this new routine like a movie playing in your mind. Just close your eyes and see every single detail that you can. And if visualization isn't your thing, maybe you just don't have a lot of experience with that, that's totally fine. But try something like a vision board. It can even be something digital, but put together in one place all the images, the words, the affirmations that represent the life that you are in the process of creating. The key here is to really make it very real and vivid and exciting. This should be something you're really excited about, something you're motivated to work toward, and also motivated to make you take those next steps and do the hard work to get there. So now we can talk about action. How do we actually make those small incremental steps toward that new goal, toward this new version of ourselves? And the thing is, this reinvention of ourselves doesn't come from wishing or just the vision boards or playing out these visualizations in our mind, even though these are all very important. But it also comes from doing. And we have to take committed action, even though we might not have all the answers right now. So one thing you can do is just start very small. If your goal is to get in the best shape of your life in 2025, break that down. Do you have a personal trainer? Do you have a gym membership? Maybe you start there. Or maybe you start with some simple habits like going through your pantry and your kitchen and just clearing out all the old garbage and junk food before 2025. In fact, just do it now and start early. Or another thing could be, if you want to create better relationships in your life, then make a commitment to really have that be a priority in your life and make space for it. Because every one of these very small actions toward our goals generates more and more momentum. And that momentum and that hard work is eventually what turns these dreams into reality. And again, it's not about being perfect. I don't even know what perfection is, but it's not about perfection. It's about showing up consistently and slowly but surely sort of morphing yourself into that person that you want to be. And as part of this process, we also have to talk about letting some things go. So you want to release what no longer serves you. And we mentioned this a little bit earlier in the video, but to step into this new version of you, you have to let go of the old you. And think about this, what's holding you back? Is it a toxic relationship? Is it just negative, limiting beliefs that you have that you've carried since childhood? Is it sort of, you just don't have the motivation? What is it? What are the specific things that are holding you back from realizing your potential? So here too, a very simple exercise you can do is just take a piece of paper and write down what you're ready to release. What are the things that you're still carrying with you, the baggage, so to speak, from 2024 that you don't want to bring with you into 2025? Is it an old bad habit? Is it maybe a specific situation that you want to resolve before then? Is it a job that you can't stand and you want to get something better? Just write it down and then symbolically sort of let that go. And when you start to release what no longer serves you, you create space for those things that you do want in your life. So as we get closer and closer to 2025, just remember that this process of reinvention is a journey. It's not a one-time event. So even though we're looking at this through this lens of, oh, it's 2025, January 1st, I need to have everything all set, just remember that there are going to be ups and downs, wins and setbacks. But for every step forward, even the smallest of steps, that's still a victory. And celebrate your progress. And if you do stumble, it happens to everybody. It's a learning lesson. just don't give up. Just keep moving forward toward your goals. So if you want it to be, 2025 can absolutely be your year. It can be the year you let go of things that are holding you back, the year that you take bold steps forward toward your goals, and the year that you embrace this amazing person that you're becoming. So tell me, what is your first step? What do you want to manifest in this new year? Share it in the comments below. I'd love to hear all about your plans. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.